I created this instructional video for my organic chemistry class at North Carolina State University. In this lecture, I'll be discussing the drug clonazepam, commonly known as Klonopin in the United States, and its structure, mechanism of action, and history. Let's begin with the history of benzodiazepines. These drugs were first synthesized around 1957, around the same time that their hypnotic and anxiolytic effects were recognized. As a side note, hypnotic in this context simply means sleep-inducing. Because benzodiazepines are less dangerous, they became a competitor of barbiturates. However, by 1980, concerns began to arise regarding the potential for abuse of Klonopin. The public also became more aware of the side effects of benzodiazepines as a whole, which some argued have been downplayed by manufacturers and physicians. Because of its sedative and anticonvulsive qualities, clonazepam is used as a treatment for panic attacks and seizures. It works by targeting GABA receptors within the central nervous system, the details of which I will describe later. Clonazepam is commonly prescribed due to its relatively long half-life in comparison to other benzodiazepines. Let's take a look at the structure of clonazepam. Here you can see a 3D representation of what clonazepam looks like. The defining features of clonazepam, like all other benzodiazepines, are its fused benzene and diazepine rings. A benzene ring has 6 carbons bound to each other with 3 double bonds, while a diazepine ring includes 2 nitrogen atoms and 3 double bonds. The side chains can vary among different types of benzodiazepines and are what give a particular benzodiazepine its specific qualities. Now let's look at how clonazepam actually works within the body. To the left, you can see a GABA alpha receptor in the closed state. There's no GABA bound to it, which means chloride, which has a negative charge, cannot enter the cell. On the right, that same receptor has the GABA bound to it and opens, allowing chloride to enter the cell. This is important because when chloride comes into the cell becomes hyperpolarized and reduces its likelihood of firing an action potential. Now we'll look at what happens when Klonopin is present. As before, GABA is bound to the GABA receptor. If GABA is not present, clonazepam will have no effect. It does not replace GABA, it simply enhances GABA's effect. Clonazepam also binds to the receptor and causes a conformational change, making GABA more efficient at letting chloride in. This further hyperpolarizes the cell and is why we see a depressive effect on the central nervous system. Like most other drugs, clonazepam is not without numerous side effects. Some of the most common ones include drowsiness, memory loss, and motor impairment. Although less dangerous than barbiturates, combining clonazepam with other central nervous system depressants, such as alcohol, can greatly increase the risk of death. Importantly, the long-term effects of benzodiazepines on the brain are still unclear. Thank you for watching this video, and here are my references.